Hello, everybody. Oh my goodness. Welcome to the Patient Players podcast, as always, with one big exception that today and today only.
It's Christmas! Did I get
yet.
it?
No.
Is it not Christmas? Okay.
No.
Let me try
it's
again.
Better than that. It's better than that. It's episode
It's my birthday?
50.
Oh, it's okay. That's exciting, I guess.
Episode 50. We've made it today and today only. This is your September the 21st edition of the Patient Players podcast. I am your host, Daniel, joined by my marvelous co-host, Jordan. How are you doing, Jordan?
It's me, and I'm 50 years old. We beat Mario by a good 15 years.
Oh yeah. So is this our 50th anniversary collection?
Yes, that's half of a century.
That's correct.
I always mess up century and decade, even though decade has the deck in it, and century has the cent in it. Yep. I still mix them up. Well,
now you know.
By the way, that's Greek for you guys at home.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's Greek to me for sure.
Yeah.
So this is a podcast about games. We're going to talk about playing video games. We're going to talk about the games that we like to play. This is a bit of a special episode because it is our 50th. So we have a lot to talk about. We are going to get into that. But Jordan, you said that there was some special news that we were holding on to for today.
There is some special news. So we tried very hard, and we think that we finally got hold of the elusive K, and according to my sources, he should be trying to join any second now. Do you know?
He's connecting in. He's connecting in.
Is he connecting in? Okay. I see it. It's loading. Oh, is that? Wait,
hello? Hold on. I gotta open up the port we have to the Abyss.
I hear him coming through.
Wait, he hasn't connected yet. Who's connected?
Hello?
Keaton.
Oh, hi.
Keaton.
Hey.
What?
Hey, I've been trying to hack into your podcast for like what feels like years.
What?
Keaton, no, what have you done?
Open port.
Keaton, the port. No, the Abyss, it's closing.
Did it close? Did we lose him? Is he gone?
Guys, I'm here.
No.
Finally.
Keaton,
the one you've all been waiting for.
Kay was trying to connect. The guy who emails us every week?
No. There's not enough room on this podcast for me and him, or him. I can't have him on this podcast.
Do you know how expensive
at all?
Do you know how expensive an inter-abyssal port connection is? Okay, you realize you just ruined months of work.
So you can stay as long as you refund us our money on that port connection.
No. Anyway, hello everyone, and welcome to Friend Keaton's All Anime Podcast.
Oh,
this is episode 1. This is episode 1. We're going to be covering all 941 episodes of One Piece.
We've been hijacked.
I mean, I'm kind of okay with it, though.
Welcome to anime in the slow lane. Or in the fast lane. You said 935 episodes?
41.
It's like 941. It'll be 942 by the end of today.
Oh, good. I wish shows that I watched had 941 episodes.
You probably don't, actually.
like Monk, like Avatar: Last Airbender. What else do I watch? Phineas and Ferb. Ooh, I would love 900 episodes of Phineas and Ferb.
See, now that we're an all anime podcast all the time, I'll dive into this a little bit. But turns out when you hit a certain number of episodes, you kind of just run out of stuff, and so you just keep adding stuff, and you keep escalating stuff, and you keep raising the bar, and the bar can never be lowered ever. And so after a while, it just gets a little ridiculous. Like at the point where Monk goes Super Saiyan, you probably wouldn't want to keep watching. You know what I mean?
I don't know what you're talking about. That sounds wonderful.
That does actually sound really good. Just like Tony Shalhoub with like a big golden afro.
Is that true, Keaton? By episode 941, is everything just bonkers crazy?
Well, of One Piece, he had everything kind of planned out. Well, not everything planned out from the beginning. He knew how it was going to end.
Oh, okay.
Hasn't gotten there yet.
There isn't like love
triangles
hasn't
gotten there yet.
Everywhere, or love decahedrons.
No. It's just there's just a lot of world building, just like a whole lot of world building, just like all of the world building.
I thought we were talking about anime, not game design.
All right, now you can stay on this podcast, Keaton, and pay us back with your hacker skills at some other point. We'll call in the favor, but we do need to talk about video games. I'm sorry, anime cannot be the 50th episode.
Okay,
Maybe 51.
whatever.
Maybe 51.
I got some backup topics that are video game related, so
Okay, that's good. So you even have your topics prepared. You were prepared to hack in.
I was prepared. I was just waiting for that port to open.
Wow. Dude, that's very impressive.
Well, Keaton, welcome to the podcast, our unexpected guest. If you are new listening to the podcast, or Keaton, since you are new, let me explain. We're going to talk about the games that we've played throughout the week. We aren't always jumping into the newest stuff. Usually it's stuff that we might have missed the first time around and gotten a good deal on, or something that got updated. So we got plenty to talk about this week, I can assure you. But we will also mention some of the deals where you can find those games that you might have missed the first time around for either really cheap. Sometimes they're free, sometimes they're free with a subscription. So we'll like to call that out. And then we end with kind of a Q&A section, which is our favorite part of the podcast. And with episode 50, we've got some real good questions, some real good things to look back on and appreciate over these many months of podcasting and streaming. What do you guys want to talk about? How's your week been, Jordan?
50 years of podcasting. Oh, man. It was really... I already said this last week, but it was really nice of Nintendo to release the Mario collection in honor of our 50th episode.
I 100% agree. They were like, we got to give something that they can talk about for hours on end just in time for the 50th episode. And lo and behold, Mario 3D All-Stars, which we talked about the last few weeks because they announced it. It had like some weirdness with the release and the fact that it's temporary and a lot of other weirdness.
Turd, if you will.
The Nintendo stank turd. This time outside the game, I think. There's probably some more in the game. I haven't really played it. But you have been playing Mario?
I have been playing. And what are the odds? Keaton hacked in. I don't think Kay's been playing it, but I'm pretty sure Keaton's been playing it.
I have. In fact, I've already beaten Mario 64.
Whoa!
Okay. Wait, when you say beaten, do you mean like 100%ed, or do you mean like I beat Bowser for the last time?
I beat the final Bowser. I haven't 100%ed it yet.
I have a confession to make. I beat Mario Galaxy already. Except I kind of did 100% it also.
You absolute madman.
Not technically.
It's only been out for a day.
Yeah, okay. Look, by 100%, I mean I got all 120 stars with Mario. So technically, that's like 49% completed.
So you've lied to us.
Yeah, I've 100%ed the Mario run, but even that's not true. I've 99% of the Mario run because you can't get that very last star until you beat the whole thing completely a second time with Luigi.
Okay. So you still have at least some value in Galaxy. So this is incredible. For anyone listening to the podcast, we do our live recordings over the weekends. So as of right now, this video game has been officially released for less than 48 hours.
And two of us have beaten 2 of the games on it.
So I mean, I guess at this point, I feel like I have to say that I've beaten Sunshine, right?
Yeah, I was going to say that too.
I got like 99% of the way there. Every shine. That's not true. The box is unopened. You can see it in the video version on my wall right here.
It's an editable thing.
I have yet to play any of the Super Mario 3D All-Stars. Obviously the same cannot be said for either of you. So how many Nintendo stank turds have you found so far?
That's yeah. What about you? I don't think I would technically say I found one yet.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not. I wouldn't say there's specifically a Nintendo stank turd with 3D All-Stars, but I could say there are a few Nintendo stank turds with the games that they included in 3D All-Stars.
Oh, it's just like been perfectly preserved from the past.
Yeah, it's like fossilized turds.
Fossilized stanky stinks.
You know, we got Mario and Sunshine's camera. Actually, there is a stank turd with Mario 3D All-Stars specifically. Okay. They've inverted all of the camera controls of all 3 games.
Wait.
Did they really?
They did.
So I remember with Sunshine, the original was inverted, right?
It was inverted, but now it's inverted to how it used to be. So now if you've played a lot of Sunshine like I have, and you want to aim in the direction you want to go, you go the opposite direction that you're trying to go.
I noticed that too, actually. I would find myself like pointing down to go up, and Mario's like, okay, we're shooting down. And I was like, that's weird.
Yeah,
So
something feels wrong about this.
Yeah.
So but I feel like if they hadn't have fixed it, that would have been worse. So like they did fix it by making it not inverted, but your brain is switching over to inverted mode.
They fixed it for players who've never played the games before.
Yeah.
But for people like me, they've ruined it.
Oh,
Ruined
dang.
it forever.
Well,
And you can't uninvert it.
Wait, really? I was about to ask. There's no toggle.
Exactly.
I don't believe there's an option.
The problem is that they didn't give you the option to switch back or switch it to the inverted controls, which would be so easy because you hit the minus button in any of these games, you can get like the overlay, like this isn't the game, this is like an overlay. They could have easily. It's got the controls.
Let's be honest here. Let's call it what it is: the emulator screen.
Yeah. Well, no, you're exactly right. Yeah. So they could have easily just been like, put a setting in there to change it.
They could do it at the emulator level 100%. They wouldn't even need to change like the menus in the game. That's crazy to me that they wouldn't even just add a toggle option for inversion. Like that's all right. I'm not a game designer. We are up here.
Uh-oh. We're experiencing some technical difficulties.
No, it's fine. Everything's recorded locally. I didn't cut out at all. I don't know what you're talking about. Why don't you answer the question I just asked you and you understood very clearly?
Oh, the question you just asked us locally in the same room.
Yeah.
Okay, Keaton, why don't you go first? You're better with game design, so why don't you answer his question that he just asked us?
Yeah, so the question you just asked us, it'd be very easy to fix it.
Okay. Okay. No, that makes sense. Yeah, thanks. That was exactly what I asked.
Yeah, that's it'd be very easy.
I think so too.
No, seriously though, I do think it'd be really easy because, like, if you use Dolphin, you just go into the options menu and change the controls. And of course, the way they're emulating it in on the Switch is probably different, but I can't imagine it's too much different.
Right.
So did you jump like right into Mario 64 as soon as you got the game?
I wanted to jump right into Mario Galaxy because that's the one I haven't played in like a long time.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But I figure I would enjoy the game more if I played them in order.
Okay.
Because
is that because you would like feel the progression and the move set and all that stuff?
Yeah, because Mario 64, I love that game, but it hasn't aged well.
That's fair. And that's the problem with me is I hear people like so excited to play Mario 64. I think on a poll, that was Galaxy that won in the poll. But I've seen tons of people excited for this. I am like so unenthusiastic about Mario 64 in this collection because I didn't grow up playing it. I played the DS one, which I loved the DS one. But
that's kind of like growing up playing it.
Yeah, but not this version. So like when I booted up this version, I was like, I was like running around. I was like, this game is old. The controls are a little wonky. If I don't have that nostalgia factor to keep me going with it, but I do have that for Sunshine.
I will say it's very impressive for the time that it came out. Like extremely impressive.
Absolutely.
There are so many like tiny details in that game that are just like nobody's ever done this before, and they decided to go like overachieving it, they have like unique cartoony animations. Mario leans into his turns, That's not something that you would imagine like a first 3D platformer to do.
Oh, definitely.
It definitely feels like if you look through the history of console generations, there's like the launch titles, and then there's like right at the end of the generation before the new comes out, there's like the titles that have mastered the system, right? Like PS3 launch titles versus PS3 like The Last of Us, which comes out like right before the new console comes out.
That doesn't exactly work because Second Son was a launch title on PS3 or PS4. Sorry, I was thinking PS4.
Yes,
you said PS3.
I'm not about PS3. Yes,
okay,
I'm saying like the difference between what a launch title looks and plays like and what the ending title looks and plays like when the developers now have like years of experience with this technology. To me, Mario 64 feels like a late game Nintendo 64 title, but it was like, I don't remember if it was launch or if it was near launch. I think it was launch.
I think it was launch.
It's crazy that these developers
that's awesome.
Nailed it.
So what is your review of the port? so far? Or I guess you beat it. So like, what's your review of the port? Of course, we all miss Mario's line that was taken out and replaced with "bye bye."
No, yeah.
No more
classic removed.
No more so long, Bowser.
So long, gay Bowser.
Do you know what he actually says there? Like, what does he
It's just-
actually say?
He's trying to say so long, King Bowser, I believe.
Oh.
Well, okay. I think when I last looked this up, there are several theories. That's one of them. But I believe that someone did actually ask Charles Martinet, and it's just him being kooky. Like, if you've ever listened to him do his Mario voices, he adds a lot of like it's a me a Mario. Like he adds a lot of extra little syllables in there, and it was just like it wasn't a word. It was just
he
like,
added
so
some
long again,
stank to the
Bowser.
line.
Like,
interesting. Okay, well, rest in peace. It's bye-bye now.
it's a bye-bye.
And the memes have been going strong on Twitter for that line being swapped out.
There's 2/3 else to this game I want to hear about. So you have beaten Galaxy for the most part. And what is that like?
For the most part, yeah, I would say I did beat Galaxy like a lot. So I actually booted up Mario Sunshine. Like I've said before, I was most excited to play good old Mario Sunshine. Yeah. Is it? Remind me how they said it works. Is it upscaled to 720, or do they upscale Mario Sunshine to 1080?
I don't remember the resolution. I remember that it gets widescreen support, whereas Mario 64 does not get widescreen support.
Okay.
I think they may have upscaled it. I don't remember.
I think they did. It looks really crisp.
Okay.
But also, and I'm just kind of assuming this, there's this weird kind of artifacting, I don't know if that's the right word, that kind of came from upscaling such a low res game to where I wouldn't call this like a remaster at all.
Oh, right. Just emulation. Yeah, 100%.
Well, emulation with a resolution upscale. And it does a lot, but at the same time, there's, that like mirage effect where you see something in the distance and it's like kind of blurry.
Yeah.
It's like that happens a lot for a lot of textures when it shouldn't. And I don't remember that ever happening in the past. And I think that's because they're trying to stretch all of these pixels that don't actually exist.
Okay.
So, and it's also 30 frames. So it's a port. It's a good, I'd say it's a good port. It's really cool being able to play it with like a pro controller, especially in handheld. That feels amazing. But so I played a bit of that and I was like, okay, whatever. I'm happy that I have access to Mario Sunshine on Switch. Maybe there's some, I didn't play it in handheld actually yet. So maybe it looks better on the 720 display. But then I switched over to Mario.
Sunshine, you're saying?
Yeah. But then I switched over to Mario Galaxy, and ooh, boy, I cannot give the Mario Galaxy port enough praise in this collection. Like, Mario Galaxy alone on this collection makes the whole thing, like, is worth it alone. It has also been upscaled, and it looks beautiful, runs in 60 frames, so buttery smooth, and holding, when the game came out, you used the Wii Wiimote and the Joy-Con, not the Joy-Con, sorry,
Nunchuck.
the Nunchuck. So now you have two Joy-Cons. It feels, the game is completely natural. Like it was made for a Switch. You can still do the shake to spin, and you got the movement in the other hand. Like it transfers over from Wii to Switch like so nicely.
Is there still the option for, or is there the option for a button input?
There is, and there's a button for spin, which is huge. Such a enormous improvement that, Nintendo's always like, here's the levels where we force you to use something that we're so proud of making and you have to use it. Sorry. But so having a button for spinning, if I don't want to be like, having a good time shaking my wrist around, I can just press a button. And yeah, that, like, it runs incredible. Like, they've replaced, obviously they had to go in and replace like all references to buttons with the Switch buttons.
Right.
So they had to replace all those, and all the Wiimote like motion graphics have like the Joy-Con. So that game is so cool playing with Joy-Cons, and the way it emulates the Wii sensor bar also works like phenomenally because it just uses the Joy-Con gyroscope. So,
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, because you still point at the screen, right? But you're able to just point anywhere, and it'll just
Exactly. Yeah. One of the bumpers is just the reposition button. So I use it a lot, but also like I don't care because it works so well that I'm just like lounging and I just reposition it, and then I can just point my hand around and pick up all the star bits.
So it stops being a pointer and it just becomes a magic wand.
Yeah, dude, it's the best. Like, I recommend playing this game with Joy-Cons. You can play it with the Pro Controller. You can play it in handheld. But I recommend playing it like with them disconnected because it just feels so nice and it looks amazing on a 1080p screen.
Yeah, I believe when it's connected, you use the touch screen instead of the pointer, right?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that too. So I don't like that, but also they like I don't know what else they could have done. Yeah. But if you're playing in handheld, you know, to pick up the star bits, you have to actually like take your hand off and swipe over the screen to pick them up.
Yeah, I guess
be a real man and touch.
Maybe could have used gyro, but that'd be kind of awkward.
Yeah,
the whole screen.
Yeah, like so.
I mean, they built an FPS around that mechanic, so I don't think Nintendo's opposed to wiggling your screen around.
Right. So that's I started playing it in handheld, and I was like, this is incredible. And then I missed being able to pick up all the star bits. Which can I just say that just like what do you call that in a game? That feature that mechanic is really fun. I kind of looked over how fun it is to pick up star bits in games. I'm playing it and I'm like, it's fun. Like an animation is playing right now, but I can still do something. Or like as I'm playing, I can be like, oh, I'll get those while I'm at it. Like that is such a fun thing that I've been having so much fun with.
Okay.
So that's why I switched over from handheld to like on my 1080p monitor, just so I can use the Joy-Cons to pick up the star bits, and it's great. It's so wonderful.
Yeah, I haven't picked up Mario Galaxy yet because I said I wanted to save it for last. But I do wonder if it's gonna feel right after being used to Mario Galaxy for so long to use a button instead of a shake. How did that feel like to you?
I immediately adapted to it.
Oh, really?
So quickly. Even when I switched over to the Joy-Cons, one in each hand, I would occasionally like shake, and I'm like, this is too much work. I like got so lazy so quickly. But I love that they still have it in there. Like it's still an option. You can shake that thing as much as you want. You know, you can be like, and it still works.
It's the Twilight Princess problem, right? Because Twilight Princess was on GameCube and on Wii, and so they had like the sword swing mechanic. But whereas in Skyward Sword, the Zelda that was built for the Wii, they had like the directional swinging mechanic in the game. In Zelda Twilight Princess, it was like, well, the swing is just another form of a button input because it's the same game that was on GameCube where you just hit a button to swing, right? So I played that game on Wii, but then I'll see like someone playing it with a controller, and it just seems like so much less work. It's just like, oh yeah, I hit the button and he slashes a sword because this is a Zelda game and that's what you do. It's like, oh yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Did Breath of the Wild have motion controls for swords? I don't remember.
No, I think it was only for aiming bow and arrow.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
you had the
right.
option to do pointer aiming.
Okay.
Yeah, and also puzzles. There were some puzzle motion control areas.
Okay.
Yeah, where you had to like tilt the like a little marble table kind of thing.
Have we talked about the stink turds in Breath of the Wild before? No. Are there any?
The motion control puzzles.
I wouldn't call those stink turds, right? That's just forcing you to use.
But most of the time, it didn't work very well.
Oh, okay.
And and you could also like you still had to do it while in handheld mode.
Oh, you're talking about like you're in the temple and there's like the ball in the. Oh no, yep, I agree. I'm sorry, I was thinking of something else. I hated those things.
Yeah, I played that temple while on the train, and I had to tilt my Switch.
Oh no!
And like, I'm just like, I know people are like sitting around all around me, looking at me, and I'm like, yeah, okay, let me just. Yeah.
Oh my word. Props to Nintendo. I feel like we have to give them props for this now. Props to them for not making the stink turd of playing Mario Galaxy in handheld, and you have to like shake the console to do a spin. I could totally see them doing that, and us being like, "Why? Why would you do that?"
I feel like they did that for a game. I don't remember which one though.
Oh my word! So I'm so happy there's a button.
But if you're like my wife's original Switch controllers, where she immediately broke the plastic tabs that keep them on the controller.
Oh
then,
my
like,
word! Sadness.
if you're not supporting the controller, or the console, if you're just supporting it by the controllers, they just slide off. So I could see you like shaking it, and the console just
Yeet.
slides right off of the
Bye, Mario.
Joy-Cons. Wow. So that's a lot in that package then. So it sounds like Galaxy is definitely the winner so far, but neither of you really have a lot of experience with Sunshine other than some of the graphical stuff you were talking about.
That's true. Yeah.
Okay.
You need to play it though, Daniel. You got to pick up the slack here.
I gotta go beat Sunshine in the next 24 hours. Apparently, I didn't realize.
You must have missed the memo. That's okay.
Yeah. Anything else on Mario? I feel like we've kind of exhausted all 3D Mario adventure discussion for now.
I think so too.
I mean, I didn't talk too much about Mario 64, but it's basically just Mario 64. I almost didn't recognize the inverted cameras in that one. So
yeah, I didn't recognize them in shoot, what was it? Sunshine.
Galaxy. Oh.
Yeah, Sunshine when you're not like aiming the nozzle.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I'm sure it also inverted like the camera controls just like in general, right?
I don't think it did. I think it was just the aiming that was inverted.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember.
Interesting.
Yeah, I only really noticed it with the aiming, but I assumed it was all of them.
Okay. Did you notice a big difference with because they widened the what's ratio? The word? The ratio, the ratio for 64. Have you noticed a big difference in that? Like, oh, I can see more stuff now.
Wait, I thought they did.
Well, no, they didn't widen it.
Oh, they didn't?
The same.
Yeah, 64 didn't get anything besides a slight texture resolution change.
Oh,
yeah.
Sunshine got the widescreen.
They improved the textures on Mario's face and like the M on his hat. I know for sure they improved the font.
Can you read what the star statue says out back?
No, you can't. People have already tried. It's still as blurry as ever. So they didn't improve everything. They just improved like a few little things.
It's basically just Mario 64. It's just Mario 64.
Okay, yeah. Interesting.
You know what you're getting with it.
Yeah. So it's not the Mario 64 PC port, which I've also been playing. We can talk about that later.
Oh yeah, the like fan made one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think there is a game that I would like to talk about that me and you played, Jordan.
Really? What is that? It
is a game that everyone and their mother is currently talking about, even though it is 2 years old, and that game is Among Us.
That's right.
I feel like I might be the last person alive to jump on this bandwagon, but did you know that Among Us is really fun?
I did, because we played it. Keaton, did you know that? Let's ask Keaton. I'm sure Keaton also, as he takes a drink.
I was like, oh, they're going to talk about Among Us for a few minutes.
Because we're recording locally. Yeah, Keaton, you're a big like streamer, YouTuber watcher, right? So I'm sure you've seen this game just everywhere.
I'm sure I have. Let me just remember what Among Us is real quick. Let me
Okay, well, and for anyone listening that might not know or hasn't played it yet, Among Us is a social deduction game in the vein of your mafias, your werewolves, your secret Hitlers, where there is a group of players, one of them or two of them at random are chosen to be imposters. You're trying to root them out. But normally in those kind of social deduction games, it's all about the social interaction. It's about the deception and convincing people you are or are not a bad guy. But this adds a whole layer of a game on top of it where you are actually moving characters around and you're trying to accomplish tasks. If you're a good guy, you're trying to murder everyone else if you're a bad guy without getting caught. And there's lots of like little mini games for you to do around this spaceship as you're these little space guys running around trying to figure out who's the imposter. And boy, it just nails that social game. And I've played it only in one session, but I played it for like 4 hours straight. It was me and you, Jordan.
We played it far into the night. 4
additional players. So we were 6 people and we played with a single imposter. And my goodness, some of the shenanigans we got up to in that was crazy. It was so fun. It is free on phone platforms, on both Android and iOS.
I think that's huge too. Like, yes. I can't really underemphasize how big that
Is
is.
it is it crossplay?
And it's crossplay.
It is crossplay. So anyone, if you have someone you know who plays it or wants to play it, if they have a smartphone, they can play it with you no matter how you have it. It does have short, very short, almost insignificant ads at the end of every round. If you have the free version, you can pay to remove those, or you can of course buy it on another platform like on PC or a console. I don't know which consoles it's on, but I purchased it on PC after playing it for so long because it was super fun.
Nice. Yeah, $5 on PC, or if you want to get rid of ads in the mobile version, it's $2. So
I didn't even know that. I thought it was $5 everywhere. That's crazy.
yeah, it's super accessible and super fun.
Yes.
No.
Highly suggested for everyone. What was that, Keaton?
I hadn't watched anybody play it, but I have seen it
Really?
around. Yeah, no. I see a lot of people streaming it, but it seemed like, I mean, I'm sure it's fun. It just seemed like one of those games. It's like, oh, it's that one game from Jackbox where you're trying to figure out the alien or something.
Dude, that one is so fun.
Yeah, and it's fun. It's just like, do I actually want to watch that though?
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
It is that, but that extra layer of the actual game part of it, I think makes it so much better. And obviously because it's a social game, it's more fun with like people you know and playing like through Discord or something like that. But I'm super jazzed to play more of it. I don't necessarily have like a bunch of insights, and you've probably all heard of Among Us before, but just in case you haven't, it got popular recently because of some popular streamers that started to play it. But it's actually been out for 2 years, and I think I heard from another news source that they are actually pretty close to finishing the sequel. So how weird is it that they've like about to deliver the sequel and then their original game explodes in popularity?
Wait,
It's top.
I thought they were just making it because it got popular.
I don't know.
That's hilarious if they were just making it already.
The first game is literally top selling on Steam right now. It's crazy.
Oh, very nice. Wow, that's how crazy it would be to make a game and then 2 years later everyone's buying it.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Modern Steam is a weird place. Streaming is a weird place.
Interesting. And it's fun. Do you like those kind of games, Keaton, where you're being a little sneaky murdering your friends?
If it's with friends, that's one thing. If it's online, I don't really play a lot of online games, so
that makes sense.
Yeah, and this one has both options, so up to you.
So games like that, or maybe like Fall Guys, that's been popular recently, or
big one.
The Call of Duty Shoot-a-Man games.
Shoot-a-Man.
Not really my thing. I prefer single player experiences, but yeah.
So you're never gonna get the Fall Guys, Keaton?
No, I probably won't ever get the Fall Guys. Is it free?
It's not. It is $20.
Oh, okay. It struck me as like kind of a free game, but
it does look like it. I think it also has like in-app purchases too for like costumes or something. I don't.
It was when it came out. It was the free game for PlayStation Plus last month. So it's not free anymore, but it's only like $20.
Yeah.
Anyway, I asked that like I was gonna actually buy it, but I'm not actually going to buy it.
I'm looking at getting it at some point just to play with friends, because I've heard it's like super also like accessible to those who don't play games as often. I have some friends who don't game that often, and they're like, "This game is so much fun." And it's like, okay, that'll be fun playing like with them in a group or something, especially for only $20.
Well, I have only one more game to talk about. I have plenty of other topics to go through, but just to get some of these games out of the way, when I bought Among Us last night, it was actually a double purchase. I did purchase a second game to go with it.
Oh.
There is a Steam sale going on right now for, is it the developer THQ? Let me check. THQ Nordic, that's that whole thing where like THQ as a company technically is gone, and then they got bought by Nordic, and the Nordic changed their name to THQ Nordic, but then they started buying some of their IP. So it's very weird situation with publisher, but their games are on sale. A game that they had that actually just came out, I think 2 weeks ago or last week, is on sale 10% off, and that is Kingdoms of Amalur: Re-Reckoning. This is
what a mouthful. Good heavens.
This is the remaster of Kingdoms of Amalur: Reckoning, which came out, I think, a long time ago. I think it was like 2012.
They call it Re-Reckoning?
Yeah, it's the remake is literally called Re-Reckoning.
That's awesome.
So I bought, the original release date was February of 2012. So this is an 8-year-old game.
Whoa, jeez.
I bought that game at some point years ago, not when it first came out, but later on, and I played it for a little bit. I remember enjoying it. I remember getting a little burnt out a few hours in and stopping it. But honestly, I did not know this remake was coming out. I have considered reinstalling it 2 or 3 times in the last year because I was looking to play a open world fantasy game, which is what this game is, and I wanted to try it out again because I remembered enjoying it. And then I found out like a month ago, oh hey, there's this randomly out of nowhere, there's this remaster coming out, and the full price game is $40, but they did the Dark Souls treatment where if you own the original, they actually mark it down on Steam to $20.
Oh, very nice. Is that in addition to the 10% off that you got?
Yes, it is. So with the
Wow,
sale,
that's
it was
awesome.
actually a total of 60% off for me to purchase.
Very nice.
So threw that in the cart with Among Us last night and downloaded it, and I played through the tutorial. It I haven't played the original in 5-6 years at this point, and probably more. So I don't remember what it used to look like. It looks pretty rough in terms of the remaster, but they also said that they've made some minor gameplay changes. Things like the loot that's dropped, like the drop rates and stuff like that, are adjusted, and they've made a few other gameplay changes to improve it and make it a little less frustrating in some ways. And from the reviews I was seeing, people were saying that the visuals were kind of here or there, hit or miss on the remaster, but that the gameplay upgrades were generally good things. And other than that, it's just a good game. And I never ended up playing all the way through it. So I was like, I was already interested in playing this the first time around. I don't really care that it's a remaster. If it's an excuse to play it again and they've made gameplay improvements, let's jump on this. So I'm really excited to play more. I've only done maybe an hour or two of it so far.
Okay, and how was the hour or two?
Really good. I had forgotten. So it came out in February of 2012, which means it came out about 2 months after I first got my hands on Skyrim. So obviously I was comparing it to Skyrim a lot as another open world fantasy game, but
Yeah.
it's very different. And I think the years between then and now have given me a different perspective. It's not first person, it is third person. And originally it felt like people use the term an offline MMO to me a lot. Like you go to a hub area, you get quests from people with exclamation points, you go out and complete them. You kill 10 of the wolves and you loot their corpse and get their pelts. It has a lot of the MMO trappings, and you can be your warrior character, your rogue character, your spellcaster character, that kind of thing. But this time around, I'm noticing that the combat is a little more actiony than I remember. That there are like dodge rolls and blocks and parries, and with my love of the Dark Souls franchise in recent years, that's obviously something I'm a lot better at, and I enjoy playing a lot more. And also, it's fully voice acted, and I remember that the writing was something that they advertised very heavily when it first came out, and the writing is very good in terms of just the dialogue isn't cheesy at all. It makes sense. The characters are interesting. They set up an interesting story about fate, where like fate features very strong in this game, that there are people who can read your fate and track fate. But the story begins with you being someone who has recently died, and you are the result of an experiment that somebody has spent their whole life working on to resurrect people. And so your body is recreated out of the well of souls, and of all of the people they've tried doing this with, your character is the first one that it actually works. So you wake up again.
Huh.
You don't have a memory of your former life, but you are resurrected into this world. And pretty shortly after you leave the tutorial, you find one of these Fate Weaver characters that tries to read your fate and is shocked because you have no fate. And basically, you are the first entity they've ever met whose future is not controlled by fate. And so you have your own destiny in your hands. And because of that, you are able to manipulate others' fates. So, like, if you encounter an enemy who was fated to do something, you could kill them, and now they don't do that thing. Right. And so that's kind of the story of how you are like screwing up fate and bending it to your will in this game. So I'm excited to see where that goes. I think I'm going to put a lot more hours into it if I have some time to just chill and play it.
That sounds like a very Daniel game.
Interesting. You really know how to talk about games I've never heard of before.
Well, Keaton, that's why we're the patient players.
It feels weird because both that game It seems weird to me that that game is actually more recently released than Among Us. But to me, Among Us is like the new hot thing, and Kings of Amalur is like an 8-year-old game. But technically, the remasters just came out, so that's the one I was least patient for.
Yeah, but just think of how many amazing games are out there that just people don't talk about. I feel like that's
like Among Us 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Especially with little indie games like that. That's crazy to me to think that, like, how hard discoverability is on some of those storefronts. It's that's a pretty big deal.
I think about that sometimes with the game called Hidden in Plain Sight. Do you know what game that is? Like
you've showed me it.
That's a great, really, really great like party game, but it's so obscure that like I don't think it I don't know what's the word. It shot off, rocketed off, grew in popularity. Just because like no one's heard about it, and it looks like a little indie game too. But the quality of gameplay you get from it is like really good. I just checked. I have 14 hours of playing Hidden in Plain Sight with my friends at parties.
Here's a thought that will blow your brain, Jordan.
Please blow my brain.
Consider that this same fate of obscurity and no one knows about it could have happened to Undertale.
I knew you were going to say that as soon as you started the sentence. Man, what did happen? Well, oh no, it was Kickstarter that blew up. Oh, but it still could have happened. So why did Kickstarter blow up is the real question.
I know they played it on Game Grumps, but I think it was already popular.
Probably.
Interesting.
And that's a question that many people spend a lot of their life trying to answer to make things more popular. I doubt we're going to come to a conclusion with us three bozos on this podcast.
That's fair. Hey, three patient bozos.
That's true. That's the new combined anime gaming podcast we're creating.
Here we bozo in the slow lane.
Or we game in the bozo lane, whichever one you prefer.
I think I'll say out of the bozo lane.
Okay.
For now. But hey, how about that Switch Direct this week though?
Oh yeah, the third party one.
Keaton, do you play Monster Hunter games?
I tried playing one of the ones on the 3DS and I couldn't get into it for a few reasons. One is that it was very complicated and I didn't know what I was doing. The second was that I found out that it's a game that you play with other people. And then I was like, I don't play games with other people.
Oh, so sad.
I am kind of interested in the Monster Hunter Stories thing, though, because that seemed like more of a single player thing.
Yes, that was very
I did not know the first one existed.
I didn't either.
Until they announced the second one.
Daniel and I had the same thought. I didn't mention this to him.
Yeah, I wanted to grab this text message I sent you so you had already seen the presentation, and then I was getting caught up onto it and started watching it with Marion, my wife. And so the first announcement, which we haven't gone into detail about yet, was a new Monster Hunter game, like a traditional Monster Hunter game
for the Switch.
Which we'll get to in a second. The second announcement starts up, and you don't know. It just says Capcom, and I'm like, okay, what's this? And there's
they say that it's a second Monster Hunter announcement.
Oh, did they?
Which
say
is why
that?
So that's why I was so confused. I was like, what second announcement do they have after just announcing a new game? Like, what could the second one be?
And so, but it starts off, and there's not like a ton of monsters. It's just like characters in like a JRPG, anime looking. Let's talk about Destiny and magic and stuff. And then probably not magic, but whatever. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, there's like a Rathalos. I'm like, what? Wait, this is Monster Hunter? I didn't realize that it was Monster Hunter at first. And then there's like what's the T-Rex one? The Anjanath shows up. And then the character starts riding the monster and starts fighting another monster while riding the first monster. And I pull up my phone, and the exact text I sent to Jordan is, what is this trailer? What am I watching? Monster Hunter Pokemon.
And that's funny because when I was watching it too, I was like, is this a Monster Hunter like team battler game? I got really excited. So a little disappointed that it's like a story experience, just because I was like, ooh, a new Pokemon kind of game. But the story thing it's really cool. I didn't know they did
I'm not
those.
Disappointed at all.
Yeah, Keaton, you seem excited. What did you do research on what the first one was for?
No, I did no research. I don't even know if I want to pick it up. It's just like I saw Monster Hunter and I was like, oh, cool. People like Monster Hunter. And they were like, Monster Hunter Stories, like a single player game. And I was like, that's pretty neat.
Oh, it was a 3DS game.
The Stories one.
So
yes.
Only
what is
3 years ago. What's
the gameplay like? Is it like a team building thing, or is it just your traditional JRPG?
I have no idea.
That's a great question.
I assumed it was just like Monster Hunter, but only one player.
No, I don't think that you're out there like battling monsters with weapons. I think it's different. I think there's like stories and a quest line. It's not like you go to the hub world and back out and over again.
So I'm looking at gameplay.
I figured the gameplay was like Monster Hunter, but I figured the actual game flow was like a single player game.
I'm looking at gameplay of Stories 1 on the 3DS, and it does look almost exactly like a 3D Pokemon game where you got your open world and you're just running around talking to people, and then it switches to a screen where they got like their person up close in front of the text box, and you're on the left and they're in the right, and they're like mer, 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 mer.
Yeah, a little dialogue. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So what's like is it like an RPG, like turn-based, or can you tell?
I'm not seeing any gameplay elements in
we
this.
got plenty to talk about too.
So what you're saying is it's just like a Monster Hunter dating sim?
It
just talk to people?
Be they picked up some honey. I'm not seeing any like game part of this, just a lot of dialogue. Yeah,
it's a Monster Hunter game when you plop down the meat and you're like
yes,
cook it on the barbecue spit, right?
That's great. Oh, okay. Oh no, it is just Pokemon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you're just capturing and leveling up these Monster Hunter monsters?
Yeah. It's like 2v2 Pokemon where you send out 2 people and they got a health bar and they got power attack, technical attack.
Well, here is it JRPG like Final Fantasy where you were given these characters, or is it Pokemon where you capture your enemies and train them?
That's a great question. I don't think I'll be able to find that from this video. Okay. But I would assume you catch them, surely, and if it's a Monster Hunter game.
You never know, man. Maybe there's like this. Maybe this is the monster that you made friends with in the cutscene, and therefore it's part of your party now.
Yeah, Monster Hunter, hunt monsters, but also here's yours team. You can't choose them.
Hunt the monsters with the monsters.
Hey, there we go. Okay, so that's interesting.
What else? I honestly don't remember a ton else from that direct that stood out to me, with 2 big exceptions at the end.
Oh, you mean Fitness Boxing 2, Daniel?
That's exactly one of them that I'm talking about.
Exciting announcement. It's so funny. I meant to text this to Keaton. I texted Monster Hunter in all caps. Or not, sorry, I texted Fitness Boxing 2 in all caps, like, yes, I need it. And then I realized I texted the wrong person. And they were like, what are you talking about?
That's funny.
So
the 2 moments I'm talking about are the 2 where my wife got extremely excited. One is both the official 1.0 release as well as the announcement and release on the Switch of, maybe not the initial announcement, the release on the Switch of Hades, the Supergiant game that I think it's sitting at, like, with its 1.0 release, I think it's sitting at a 93 review score.
Wow. For Switch.
Crazy. Yeah.
I think that's important because she had said in the past that she thinks that it would be a terrible game for a controller.
Or she uses the mouse, and I think she in particular thought it would be hard to switch to a controller, but apparently it's not.
Okay, cool. Because I was thinking about trying it sometime because I hear about it so much from her, from this announcement from Steam.
Well, and like with Supergiant Games, the people who made Bastion and Transistor and Pyre, thinking through Bastion and Transistor, which I've played both of those games, yeah, I could see it working great with a mouse, but they also managed to get those working perfectly with a controller. Heck, I think Bastion even worked well on like a touchscreen with a phone. So there's not a lot of excuses not to play Bastion, Jordan. Sorry.
I still haven't played Bastion, yeah.
It's a great game.
I've tried playing it. I think I'm up to 5 or 6 times now. I just get bored before the first, like, new world. Don't know what it is. I don't know.
So Hades is now out on Switch. That's a big deal. And then the second thing is the announcement of Ori and the Will of the Wisps, the second Ori game, also coming to Switch. And hot diggity dog, along with that is one of the best collector's editions I've ever seen. Can we just talk about how gorgeous that thing was? You guys know what I'm talking about, right?
I do.
I do know what you're talking about.
I want to look at it
don't
again.
know I don't know what's all that's in it, but
it is. So you get both Ori games, Ori and the Blind Forest, which has already been on Switch, and Ori and the Will of the Wisp. Now, this was the announcement on Switch. There are editions of this collector's edition for all platforms. So you can get it for PC, you can get it for Xbox.
Oh, okay.
But if you get a collection, you get both games for whatever platform you've chosen, and there are boxed copies of the games, so like limited release physical copies.
I love that. It's a different box per each game. I think that is so cool. Not like that they didn't like cheap out and just make one box for both. You get like different artwork, different boxes, and the artwork looks similar across both boxes in a nice I'm a collector's item kind of thing. Beautiful.
And both of the artworks are reversible. They have alternative artwork on the backside.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, it comes with fancy art cards and an art book for everything, which, by the way, if you've not seen or played either of the Ori games, the art is one of the major draws. It's beautiful. Both of the games are absolutely beautiful. You get digital versions of both soundtracks, which are also phenomenal. And then it all comes in like this beautiful box that opens up in like this really cool like artifact type of way from the side corners popping off, and the box has a great design and it is glow in the dark, which is amazing.
Good heavens.
Yes.
Did not know that.
Jeez.
So yeah, my wife went a little ballistic at that announcement. That was everything I remember from the Switch Direct.
Yeah,
very cool.
Very good.
Yeah, and a sketchbook. Apparently.
Yeah, I will say, if I haven't mentioned it already, they did when they shadow dropped Ori. I was like, I'm getting that now.
Oh yeah,
and I did.
Keaton texted me. Oh man, what did Keaton say? He was like, "How dare they announce this on the week of Mario? Like my poor wallet."
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it was something like that. Like, oh, how could they take my money like this?
Here it is. They just shadow drop Ori Will of the Wisps on Switch like I'm made out of money. And they're trying to take my money on the same week they're taking my money for Mario 3D All-Stars.
And Hades did the same thing. Hades like released during that direct. So boy, people talking about the Switch not having a lot to play, but Nintendo does not really need to be the heavy lifters in this case. People are just throwing their stuff on Switch. It's so popular that like everything good is coming to Switch. I saw I saw a comment, I think earlier today, that like Doom Eternal is being ported and it's almost finished.
Oh, interesting.
Because Doom 2016 is already on Switch. So like apparently Nintendo doesn't have to make games because everyone else is going to do it for them.
Is that why they didn't like making games this year?
I think the pandemic had something to do with it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I forgot about that. Hey, fun fact, I forgot to mention this. You know the volcano that the final boss is in Mario Sunshine?
Yes.
You know what that volcano is called?
Oh yeah, Mount Corona.
Corona Mountain.
Oh yeah, that's right. Do you know why it's called that though?
No.
So Corona, I don't know if it's Latin or which language, but it means the sun.
Oh.
That's why it's also the name of the town in the movie Tangled.
Oh, are you telling me that Tangled isn't a conspiracy theory that Disney made up to hide the fact that they were making a disease?
No, that's what the Tangled cartoon is, though.
Oh, okay, right. I mean, yeah, the Tangled cartoon probably is a disease because spin-off cartoons just are diseases. I'm kidding. I haven't seen it. Maybe it's good.
So I know we're trying to get to other content. This is just a really funny side note. I actually watched a clip from the Tangled cartoon like 3 weeks ago because apparently there's a character in that show named Varian, which is also the name of Varian Stormwind from Warcraft, who is a character in World of Warcraft and Warcraft and in Heroes of the Storm. I was looking up something about Varian in HOTS, and this YouTube video for Varian from Tangled Disney Channel cartoon came up. I'm like, who's this guy? So I ended up watching like 10 minutes of this character named Varian.
That's hilarious. It was like a compilation? or something.
Yeah, it was like a bunch of clips with this character in it, and I'm like, this is weird. Also, the
That's
animation
funny.
in that show was like cool to watch. It was very weird animation.
Okay, there you go. Tangled
Fun-
TV show.
Fun little side note. Sorry,
What is it even called?
I don't.
Tangled.
No.
Oh, something like Tangled Adventures.
Yeah, something like that. It's usually something like that.
Rapunzel's
the
Tangled
direct-
Adventure.
Oh, you were so close. You were so close.
Oh my word, you're right. I was.
You were
That's
one letter
hilarious.
off.
Oh well.
All right. Any other big news before we continue with the video games?
Nope. Don't think so.
Wasn't there the announcement of the Oculus Quest 2? I don't know if that's something you wanted to talk about.
There is.
The official one.
I have more. I do have more to talk about with Oculus stuff, so I will bring that up in a little bit. There was some more stuff we said last week about some of the new consoles being leaked, but some of that stuff did actually come out, right? We have dates and prices for these things now that we didn't have last week.
Oh,
We do.
We
yes.
should.
I think the PlayStation 5, the digital version is like 500. I'm looking over here like it's over here. It's not. I'm just looking over there for some reason. And then the Xbox, I think it's like $100 less. The small version. I
The
believe.
Series S.
Series S.
Did you guys see that tweet going around from IGN with all the different Xbox terms in it that people were pointing at as like an example of how terrible their naming convention is?
No.
All right, so I could give it my best try, but it's going to be easier if I just find it.
Okay. In the meantime, PS5 physical edition 500, digital edition 400.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Man, props to Xbox for making their digital edition 300.
Mm-hmm.
That's huge.
That's a Switch.
That's exactly what I said too. And then their main one is 500. So they make the same leap to 500 for the big one. But they start at 300. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna read you this tweet from IGN, very reputable gaming news source, and you tell me if you understand what it means the first time I read it. Are you ready?
Okay, yeah.
The Xbox Series S will not run Xbox One X enhanced versions of backwards compatible games, but it will instead run Xbox One S versions of Xbox One and Xbox 360 titles.
I get it.
Do you understand it?
Yes, I think so.
Can you explain it back to me?
The new console will not run.
Which one? Which of the two new consoles?
Oh, not both?
It says the Xbox Series S will not run Xbox One X enhanced versions of backwards compatible games, but will instead run Xbox One S versions of Xbox One and Xbox 360 titles.
This is like a riddle. I thought it was referring to both the new ones, but it's saying that only the big fancy new one? Or no, S is the small one.
So you've been confused twice already.
Okay, so the new smaller console will not run the games. It will not run. It will not run 360 games like themselves and before, or the Xbox games themselves, but it'll run the ported version that was ported over to last generation's small console.
I think you're like 2/3 of the way there, but you're actually wrong still.
Oh no, I thought I had it.
What
Daniel,
they're saying is
that is like when the teacher calls you up in the middle of class, like, "Hey, were you paying attention?" You're like, yes." And then you're like, "Okay, could you tell me what I just said?" Yeah.
Yeah, after you tell everyone what you just said also.
To clarify, I'm not ragging on Jordan's ability to understand. I'm ragging on Microsoft's ability to name things and communicate them.
I really hope that I could translate it, but no, you're so right. That was just a bunch of garbage.
What they're saying is this. They're saying that the Xbox Series S, which is the new small console.
Okay, good.
It is not going to run the Xbox One and Xbox 360 titles, which are the two older generation titles.
That's what I said.
It is not going to run them in the enhanced mode that the current Xbox One X, the current larger console, enhances them with better graphics, it is not going to enhance them like that one did. It is instead going to run them the same way that the current smaller Xbox One S runs them. So what they're saying is that the Xbox Series S is going to run them like the Xbox One S, not like the Xbox One X. Because this was all a great idea to call them these things.
Holy moly. So what's the difference? I'm curious now.
So like today, if you plop down an Xbox One S and an Xbox One X and you put the same game in both of them, the One X would slightly enhance the graphics. And they are saying that that will not happen on the new Series S.
So it'll just play them.
Right. The same way that the current One S plays them, the Series S will just play them without the enhancements. That is the information they tried to communicate to you.
But what about the current, the upcoming? I don't even know what the big one is called.
The Series X.
Series X.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Will that one enhance the graphics?
They didn't say there, but I assume, yeah, they probably said that somewhere else, which is why they didn't.
Makes sense. Okay, so basically, new small one runs games like old small one, right?
Right.
Okay.
But only old games.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Good night, dude. I would love. I need to see the comments on that. If that's a tweet thread.
They're all like, "What on earth?" Like I've seen Reddit posts and things like that, just tearing
Xbox X, SX, Xbox, XX, S. Roll one right, XX, S box.
Microsoft is just having a stroke over here.
Oh my heavens to Betsy!
I am impressed with how cheap they are. I will say it is too bad that there aren't any games on the Xbox that I want to play.
Right, and not to mention you have a PC, Keaton. So if there was, you can get it on PC. Like that's their new branding thing.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and you can see that they're positioning themselves to be more of a services company with Game Pass. Which should we just get into that? The changes to Game Pass.
But first, for my daily check in the news for the terms Bloodborne PC.
Okay. Has your harvest found anything?
No, just that they think they're making a remaster for the PS5.
Okay.
I don't want a remaster though, Daniel. I want Bloodborne 2. Do they
wait? But you wouldn't also you want Bloodborne on PC in 60 frames, right?
Yes. Yeah. Sorry, I don't want Bloodborne remastered for PS5. I want Bloodborne remastered for PC, and then give me Bloodborne 2 on PS5. Like it's not difficult, Sony. But thank you for listening to my request and for coming to my TED Talk.
Yeah, it's not difficult. Just make this whole game for me.
Yes. Yeah, they've had 5 years.
It's what you do. You make games, so just make this game.
Yeah, exactly. I'm ready. I'm waiting and ready. I'm ready for to give you my cash.
I don't even know what's happening at this point. So now that information search has been done, what was I even talking about?
Game Pass.
The Game Pass changes, yes. So 2 big changes, one good, one kind of bad. We on the Patient Players podcast like to talk about great deals on games. Game Pass for PC has been basically our favorite thing to talk about in recent months because currently it is $5 a month. It gets you a ton of great titles. We talked about all the stuff from Microsoft Flight Simulator to, I know we got a great email about Crosscode at one point. We've talked about Ape Out and Forager and Ori. All sorts of stuff.
You got Keaton excited about Crosscode there.
But it's all $5 a month right now. The the change that they're making that's bad is they are increasing the price to $10 a month for the PC version.
No, yeah, they are removing the introductory price of $5 per hour. So it's always been assumed that it will go up, and it is finally happening.
It was theoretically in beta before this at $5, but yes, officially it is moving to $10 as of like right now, like this month. You'll be paying $10 if you sign up for it. I will point out the Ultimate Edition, which will include Xbox Gold and Xbox Game Pass if you have the console. That doesn't really help me because I don't have an Xbox, but it will also include the xCloud service. So we're talking about 4 services wrapped into one. That xCloud is what lets you stream games to like a phone or computer.
That's for the $15 one?
All 4 of those services are wrapped up in Xbox Game Pass Ultimate.
That is incredible.
That's
if you have the internet to stream them,
Yes.
or if you have an Android. Unfortunately, Apple is being a butt, and they will not allow Xbox Cloud, or what is it called? xCloud.
Like game streaming services, xCloud and like even Google Stadia and stuff are having trouble launching on the iOS platform.
They will not allow it, and they gave an exception. Have you heard what the exception is?
Yes, I have.
It's so dumb. They said, okay, you can do it if you make a separate app for each streamable game. And Xbox is what?
No.
Like, we don't want to like put like thousands of apps on the store that's just like launch this game to start streaming streaming this game. It's like, are you seriously going to make us do that? So that's so dumb. Like, I don't blame them if they don't do it, but Apple really needs to chill the heck out with streaming services on mobile.
So that is the bad news, is the price is going up. It's still very reasonable in my opinion. Of all the subscriptions we talk about, like Humble Choice and all that stuff, I think Game Pass has given me some of the best value for the $5. And I think I would still do it month to month for $10 if there's a game I'm interested in. I don't think I would keep it permanently at $10.
Right.
Because it's not like it's not like I'm only playing games on that service. I also buy things on Steam, and the Epic Games give away all these great free games. But the flip side of that, the positive news, is that they are combining the Game Pass for PC. Have you heard this, Jordan? You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know. What do you mean?
So Game Pass for PC, if you're subscribed to it, is now going to automatically include a subscription to EA Play, which is EA's subscription service.
No.
About this.
For $10?
Yes. So for $10 gets you both now.
That's insane.
So there's also a lot of people that took the deal where they had, like, let's say like 12 or 36 months built up of Xbox Gold. There was a deal where you could convert all of that for $1 to Game Pass Ultimate. So those people actually have 3 years now of Game Pass for PC, Game Pass for Xbox, EA Play, xCloud, all of that, and Xbox Gold, all of that stuff for 3 years. I'm not in that position. I'm just paying monthly. But yes, so we get EA Play. Now, keep in mind, the EA subscriptions, there's multiple levels, and this is the lowest level. So you're not getting the like Premier Access, which gives you their games right when they come out. Sometimes it even gives you them like a week early. What you're getting is the one that gives you access to their vault of all of their older games. So like all the old EA games are now available if you have PC Game Pass.
That's huge.
So if you want to play all the Maddens and all the whatever the basketball one is, and all of whatever the soccer one is,
Mirror's
FIFA.
Edge.
Keaton makes a good point. I do want to look up what they actually do have.
Well, Mirror's Edge, that's good.
Titanfall is on there.
So are they called EA Play now? Did they rebrand? It's called EA Play now.
Yes.
And there's EA Play Pro.
Dead Space. Haven't played Dead Space.
Yeah.
But that's that should be on there, I would imagine.
Hey, isn't Plants vs Zombies EA?
It is, yes. I think the first 2 Garden Warfares are included in EA Play.
There you go. So anyone who has this Game Pass for PC can now jump in and play any of those EA games.
Rocket Arena, do you remember that game announced a while ago at E3?
Yeah, but isn't that free to play already? I
don't know. It lists as a game.
Anyways.
Yeah, Madden, FIFA, hockey.
The point is, you get the good with the bad. It's slightly higher price, but they've also sweetened the deal by adding this whole other group of games. Yeah, Mass Effect Andromeda. Let's jump in there and play that.
Unraveled, Fallout Paradise, Burnout Paradise, Battlefront 2. They have so many sports games. Oh my word! Sims 4, Titanfall. It's some good games.
Play Battlefront with all 2 of its levels.
I thought you were going to say with all 2 of the other people playing it at the time. I think both. One on each map. One person on each map.
Yeah.
So that's everything about Game Pass. They actually haven't released any new games for Game Pass specifically that I wanted to call out on PC this week. But the EA stuff is kind of enough on its own. There's more topics to talk about. Do we want to fit the deals in here or come back to these later?
Yeah, let's do some deals.
Yeah.
Cool. So the games for Gold, we've talked about. The PlayStation Plus stuff we've talked about for the month of September, so we're going to leave that alone. But Epic Games, we have a very exciting correction to make. So what Epic Games had told us last week on their free game they give away every week is that we were going to get Stick It to the Man, which we talked about a little bit last week. That is still there. But boom, bang, surprise, they dropped 2 additional games for free this week that you can go get right now. One of them is called Football Manager 2020, which is, I know, very popular. It's not necessarily in my wheelhouse, but someone out there is going to enjoy it. The second extra game is Watch Dogs 2, the full game, just for free.
What?
So
no way.
Just go pick up Watch Dogs 2. And they gave away Watch Dogs 1 several months ago. So I actually own both of these games on Epic now without having played either of them. But that is huge because Watch Dogs 3 is like this year, right? Isn't it coming out very soon?
I think so.
Oh, yeah. I forgot there was a third one.
Mm-hmm. That's like about to come out.
That is so cool. That's so funny. Before we started recording, I hopped on and I got the 2, but I didn't scroll over because I was like, there's only 2. So I didn't see Watch Dogs 2 on there until you just mentioned it. I'm like, what? I loved Watch Dogs 1.
Yeah, well, now you have the second one. I've only heard better things about the second one than the first one. I think
too.
People liked it even better.
Yeah, very cool.
But even more exciting than Watch Dogs 2, did you see what was coming next week for free?
I do see it now.
Yes. Prepare yourself for Roller Coaster Tycoon 3.
Oh.
Why is that more exciting than Watch Dogs?
Oh, just because Roller Coaster Tycoon is good.
Okay. Okay. I was like, am I about to find out about Daniel's like hidden past of loving Roller Coaster Tycoon or something?
I mean, I've played it before and it's interesting. It's a fun game, but no, I don't have like some secret Roller Coaster Tycoon obsession.
Oh, okay. I grew up playing.
That you know of.
I grew up playing one of them and I loved it. I've tried more modern ones, and for some reason I don't love them as much as I did growing up.
There was like, in my opinion, there was like a divergence at some point in the audience where there was like the people who got like the custom track builder, where you could spend like 9 hours building a custom roller coaster that went under the ground and through other rides and all this stuff, and then to drop them all off into a pool. And that was like what they played the game for, was to build like these crazy contraptions. And then there's like the people who want to play a tycoon simulator game, and they like just drop down the pre-made tracks.
That was me.
And that's me also. And then like the modern games like Planet Coaster is like custom animations, custom, like everything is programmable, and you can make these like perfectly replicated theme parks. And like, I'm just not down to do that right now. I don't need a terraforming option, you know, like
terraform. Yeah, dude, that's so funny. I've never actually realized why, but I think that perfectly sums it up. Is I would also just be like, here's a roller coaster. I'm just gonna plop it over there. I did it. I got a roller coaster. Got to keep it running. Got to set the prices right, and then move on to the next one.
Like I'll do the lines. I'll like lay out my park. I'll drop down like the little guys in panda suits. But I'm not interested in like designing my own stuff. Like do it for me.
That's funny. I wonder if this one is like that one or the new ones.
It's like I purchased like almost a year ago at this point. I purchased Planet Zoo for Marion because she loves animals and she loved Zoo Tycoon as a kid. And like that is the extreme version of Zoo Tycoon with like just as much customization as we just described, but for animals and like their habitats. And I remember that like she tried playing it, but she had this idea in her mind of like, I need to go through all the tutorials before I can play the game.
Oh no.
And like, yeah, after like 2 hours of like animal breeding tutorials, she was like, I'm going to play a different game. I'm like, but just have fun with it. Just like go in and play it. And that was kind of hard.
Like work. Yeah, it sounds like a game you would enjoy.
Yeah, I feel like that was mean. I don't know why, but I feel hurt by your statement.
It's because you like challenge and overcoming something. I feel like learning how to breed animals, getting that most efficient animal breeding process. You'd be like, yes, I am the breeder. I am the one who breeds.
Also, not to go into our chat too often, but just because it's relevant to our current conversation, my wife has corrected me that it was 8 hours of tutorials and she's only halfway through.
Oh my goodness. Can you even like play a game at the end of all that?
Oh yeah, like you could have just jumped in and played the game. She just felt like I should learn how to play first.
But like, is anyone capable of doing 8 hours of tutorializing and then playing and being like, oh yes, I know everything that I just was taught?
It's like the Little Big Planet tutorials. You remember those?
Oh my goodness, those were really well actually, because it did like one thing at a time, and then it put you through a level where you had to use it, and then you pass, and it's like, here you go, now you can do it wherever you want. I love Little Big Planet.
So I don't have much more to talk about on the deals. We've talked about Mario. We talked about a few other things. What else do you guys have? I've got some stuff I want to jump into, but I'm gonna go into it pretty hard. So,
Keaton, what do you have?
I have some. I've been playing some games this week. This week has been a big game playing week for me. I'm usually
honestly.
So I'm usually a patient player, but different in the way that you guys usually are. I'm not usually getting on deals. I'm just usually not playing games.
Okay.
I usually wait until there's a game I really want and then buy it.
So you're
but this
not.
week there's just been a lot.
You're not gaming in the slow lane. You're gaming in like the service road. It sounds like.
Yeah.
Where it's still fast, but it's not like
he's flying over all the lanes and arriving where he wants to play, and then getting back in the lane.
Oh, he's gaming in the air crossing lane.
Yeah, I'm just coasting along,
in
and
a
when
helicopter.
I see a game that I want, I go whoosh.
Nice.
Go back up again.
Like a hawk.
Like a hawk.
So what hawk whooshes have you done this week?
Keaton Game Hawk at your service.
Oh.
The first game I've been playing this week, or I should say multiple games, this week was Sage 2020, the Sonic Amateur Games Expo. It's a big online event where people release their Sonic fan games as well as their other fan games, and there are some just like indie games that aren't related to anything.
That blows my mind. There's an expo for fan-made games.
Yeah, and I would say most years they're like, there might be like a good handful of good like 2D Sonic games, maybe like one or two like good 3D Sonic games. This year it's like everybody became a professional.
Really?
It's crazy. I've been playing, I forget what it's called.
That's really cool.
Somebody created it. It was
something Sonic something.
I think
Sonic
it was
Racers
like
2.
Sonic GT or something like that. And it's
like,
so
like
good.
Dragon Ball GT?
No, I don't know. It's so good. It's a 3D Sonic game. It's like it's got 4 levels, but they're like dense. They are dense levels. Like you can go like a million different pathways.
That's cool.
Sonic GT Sage. I'm looking at a video of it right now.
Yeah, I believe it was Sonic GT. I don't know if that's the correct one exactly.
Yeah, no, this looks like it. It looks like an RPG almost at some points.
I don't think that's it.
It has like the.
I don't know what made you say that because I'm looking at it and I don't see that.
There's a point where he's talking to someone and they're both like, it's the side by side thing I was talking about earlier, where it has their
dialogue
pictures.
does not make it an RPG.
It does to me.
Okay, so it was Sonic GT. I think you're watching one of the cutscenes that had voice acting.
Oh, okay.
Because
Whoa!
everybody's a professional this year.
Whoa! Yeah, dude, I'm seeing the world. Holy snaps!
Yeah, I was doing like the speed running challenges for the first level, and it's just so good.
Wow,
it's so fun.
That's cool.
It's
incredibly
crazy.
fun.
That looks really good.
Yeah, and there were, I'd say that's the best one I've played this year, but all the other ones were also just really fantastic.
I'll point out that the gameplay video I'm watching, YouTube has decided to automatically tag this game as Sonic Adventure 2.
Oh yeah, same for mine. Is it the story mode playthrough?
Yeah, we're watching the same video.
Very nice.
Yeah. It's just been really, really good. I was addicted to it, and that's pretty good for like a fan game.
Absolutely, yeah. This looks great.
That's cool. That's really cool that Sega allows people to do this, because in no universe can you imagine like an expo where people like make their own Mario games and Nintendo is just fine with it. They'd be shutting them suckers down.
Well, how do you know that Sega's fine with it?
Because they said they're fine with it.
Oh, okay.
There you go. Yeah. I assume just the fact that it exists.
Not only did they say they were fine with it, they pretty much just encouraged it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. I wonder if they have people go to it and they're like, "Oh, that's a good idea," and they're like writing down game ideas, or even like hiring people. I bet.
I mean, I bet they learned a lot from Sonic Mania, because that was originally that the head designer of Sonic Mania was a guy who made Sonic fan games, and he was like,
Mhm.
"Yo, like Sega, let me make an actual Sonic game," and they said sure, and it turned out really, really well.
Yeah, yeah. But
That's cool.
yeah. And if there are any games that our listeners are interested in, you can Google Sage 2020 on Google, and it'll bring you there. They have like a super professional website that lists all the games and categories and stuff. It's really good. It's very good.
What does Sage stand for?
Sage stands for Sonic Amateur Games Expo.
Oh, not awesome golly.
Echidnas.
Echidnas? Excellent. Epic. There we
it
go.
could stand for that too.
Okay.
I've been playing the PC port of Mario 64.
Okay.
Yeah, so what is this? It's a port? So like they got the original files and then they ported it, or is it like they're rebuilding it?
So it's just that people have been modding Mario 64 for so long that they just sort of figured it out. They sort of just figured out the game, how it's coded and everything. I don't really know the details.
Well, also like 2 months ago, there was that giant Nintendo source code leak, and like a bunch of copyrighted code got out there.
Yeah, there was that as well, but I believe this came out before, or around a little bit before that came out. You do need a copy of Mario 64 in order to play it. You can't just download the PC port.
That's cool. I like that.
And you can
so it's like a patch.
Yeah, basically. And you can like inject all sorts of like crazy modern mods into the game. Like there's a mod that replaces all of the 3D models and 2D models with 3D models that look like the game art from the Mario 64 box art.
Whoa.
And it's impressive. It's like so good. They changed the camera, so it's like a more modern camera. All the textures are in HD. It's just so good.
So how do you use, like, if you do have a copy, how do you use it with the game?
So you'll download a program. I forget what it's called. It's like all on Google. You can look it up. There's a program you download, and it's like, okay, select your ROM of Mario 64, and then select all the mods that you want added to it.
Oh, okay, I see. Is that like their way of getting around being shut down, or somehow?
Yeah. Well, that's how all ROM hacks kind of get around it. Is like, okay, you kind of have to have like your own ROM of this game.
Okay,
like, you can't just
makes sense.
This isn't just a download of a ROM with a hack.
Right.
It's the hack, and then you like combine it with the ROM that you already have.
So if you're like Daniel and you like to burn your own ROMs at home, if you happen to have a Nintendo 64 ROM burner,
we're out there.
Yeah, I guess you could just like rip your own copy of your own game and then just patch it. That's really cool.
Patch,
yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
People like doing weird things with games, turns out.
Yeah.
What is it called? I kind of want to look up like footage of this.
Let's see. I believe the name of the YouTube channel that covers all of the Mario 64 PC ports is Unreal. And he just posts videos about seemingly only the Mario PC port. So
okay, cool,
nice.
Well, I'll check that out sometime.
Yeah. I've played a slew of Mario 64 mods that aren't related to the PC port as well, just ones that you combine with the ROM that you have. There are a lot of really good ones. I won't go over any specific ones because there's like a billion, and they're all really good.
Just like episodes of One Piece.
Yep, just like episodes of One Piece. There's just a billion.
Oh my land!
And I've seen them all. Other than that, I've been playing Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
Oh, so you did buy it on Switch?
I did buy it. It was really good.
Is this
it's been very good.
First time playing it?
This is my first time playing it. I didn't play the first game. I watched somebody play it on YouTube, and I was like, this is a good game. I maybe I should have played it instead of watching it, but oh well. And then they came out
make up for it with that collector's edition. Get both of them.
I don't have that much money, but
only $150, Keaton. Gaming in the swoop lane.
Gaming in the swoop lane.
Yeah.
It's just a real big swoop this time.
It's like a head first dive, just right into the concrete.
Yep. And then you dig through the ground, you pull up all those, you just pull up all the games with the ground. Anyway,
we killed this metaphor so long ago.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you spend $150 on a collector's edition. I've been there. I know.
Anyway, yeah, I didn't pick up the second game when it first came out just because it was on. Was it on PC? I don't know.
Yeah, and it was on Game Pass, PC Game Pass as well.
Okay, I didn't pick it up for reasons, I guess. But then they announced it on Switch, and I was like, I want that.
But did you beat it in one day?
I did not beat it in one day.
I'm too busy beating Galaxy. Or no, he beat 64.
Yeah, no, I started playing it the day before, or no, 2 days before Mario 3D All-Stars came out. I played a little bit of it on Wednesday, a little bit on Thursday, then Mario 3D All-Stars came out. So I will be coming back to it, but I'm not that far yet.
I would have been just amazed if you were like, yeah, I beat both of them in the last few days.
We don't all have that kind of time, Jordan.
Yeah, and then the only other game I've played this week, I have a few other games I've been playing in previous weeks that we can talk about later if we want to.
We are chock full of game talk at this point.
Yeah, this is the later.
This is the later. I've just been playing Picross. Just a lot of Picross.
Ooh, nonograms, I think you mean.
Just a whole bunch of Picross. That there's nothing really much to say about it other than just a lot of Picross.
All right. Picross is happening. Jordan, you still have not jumped on the Picross.
I know. I still... If I do, bandwagon. Though, I don't want to get it on my phone. I would probably also get Picross on Switch. Because they have like themed ones on Switch, right?
Hey, if you have the Nintendo Online service, they just released the old Mario Picross game.
No way! Like for free?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for Nintendo Switch.
No way!
Online owners, yeah.
Looks like I'm getting into Picross. That's really cool. Mario Super Picross. Wow.
Yep.
Very nice.
Try. All right, I have a couple things to report on that have been going on in my house. One, I did receive that fight stick I talked about last week, the Mayflash F500.
Oh, nice.
Stick. So stick around after the recording. Anyone on live stream and in the post stream, I'll pull it out and show it to you. But that is cool. I've been using it. I really like it. It has switches on it to toggle it between using X input like an Xbox controller would, or being treated like a USB controller, or being treated like there's another separate mode that it has to use for like PS3, and I think there's a few other devices it has to be used with that. You can change the left stick to emulate either an actual left stick or a D-pad or a right stick.
So you can use it with Smash.
So I have used it with Smash Bros. In fact, I wanted to invite you to play me in Smash Bros. Because playing on a controller where all of the buttons are different makes me a little bit worse. And so if you were looking to even the playing field a little bit, I would love to play Smash Bros. With you on a controller where I sometimes forget what the block button is.
Right. I think I can suck up my pride enough to be beaten by you on a controller you're not used to.
On a fight stick, yeah. We'll say one thing about it. So I bought just like the generic F500 Mayflash fight stick, and it has all these buttons, and then they're labeled, A, B, X, Y, LR1, LR2, or whatever, right? But they have the PlayStation icon and the Xbox icon next to each other. So like it'll say A/X or B/circle or X.
That's nice.
Square or whatever, right? It's great. And then you plug it into a Switch where none of those are the right buttons.
Oh, that's not nice.
And it maintains the position, which means that the button labeled A becomes B, the button labeled B becomes A, the button labeled X becomes Y, and the button labeled Y becomes X. And then I plug it into the Switch, and it's like, hit A to go forward, and I hit A and it goes backwards because that's technically the B button, because the world is crazy.
Oh, no. You can't rebind them with some software?
I don't think so. Well, there's no software. I'm plugged into the Switch.
Well, like with a Xbox Pro controller. You can plug it into a PC, switch the controls around, and then
Sure,
when you
but that's
use
because
that,
the Xbox hardware has like a native operating system that is manipulating what the signals of the buttons going out are.
in the
This fight
controller.
stick, yeah, that's why you can like switch it over with a little thing. It has software that's built into the
Oh,
controller
I see.
that controls it. Well, with the fight stick, it's just a button and a wire hooked up to something, right? So it's like
Right.
there's no electronics in between. And so yeah, I'm just like I just have to memorize the positions, which is fine because it's a fight stick and you're not looking at your hands anyways. But like I'm mashing the X or Y buttons, which both of them are jump in Smash Bros, so that works out well. And like both of the triggers are shield and then grab is the bumpers. So those all work out. But the A and the B button are mixed up in Smash Bros. So I just have to kind of remember by position which one is which. And
Get like a Sharpie. How big are the buttons? You could like write on the button, maybe.
draw on my beautiful
Okay, yeah,
F500 fight stick. Are you
that's
kidding?
fair. Draw on a piece of tape and then put tape on it.
I also have continued to play Double Kick Heroes, which I mentioned last week as the rhythm game, and it works exactly the way I thought it would when I bought it. It
That's
is
awesome.
so much fun to play that
Nice.
rhythm game with the fight stick because I'm at the second from the highest difficulty level, and so I don't mess with the stick at all. I don't actually move the car in the game that shoots the zombies as they run at you. I just have to tap out the rhythms on the buttons.
Mm-hmm.
And so I basically have like gone and rebound all the buttons to what I want. And so I have like kick pedals here and snare hit here, and then I'm playing these drum patterns on my fight stick for this rhythm game. Jeez, that game is so hard. It's so fun. Like I'm having such a blast with it.
Dude, that's so cool. I'm looking forward to visiting you so I can play it on fight stick.
On the fight stick.
Yeah.
You should try on the controller first. It's really fun there too.
Yeah, I'm waiting for a sale on Switch. I'll probably pick it up on Switch.
You're not going to try it on Game Pass first?
No, I mean like that would only be to see if I like it. But you seem to say that it's like a great game, great rhythm game.
I'm also a drummer, so like a drumming game jives with me pretty well. So I don't know if that would be your thing, but you can always try it out. I kind of want to buy it on Switch, even though I have it on Game Pass. But just one, it's cool because I've met the developers before and I like them and I want to support them because I really like their game. I bought a expensive controller just to play it, so obviously I like it. So I think I owe them some money somewhere besides Game Pass. I should probably end up buying it on at least one or two platforms. And Switch is, now that I know the fight stick works with Switch. In fact, I tested this out yesterday. I took my the USB cord that comes out of the controller. I plugged it into a little USB-C adapter that it comes with, and I plugged it into the Switch undocked.
Directly? Oh my goodness.
Undocked, just like into the bottom charging port, and it 100% worked. I was sitting there like playing Smash Bros, looking at this tiny little Switch screen.
That's so cool.
So that's one thing I've been up to. A second thing I've been up to, this is just a small little report, but you remember that Switch dock I bought, the Genki dock?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do tell.
Super cool. Mine is malfunctioning, so I have sent it back.
Oh, no.
I'm getting a free replacement sent to me over warranty. But yeah, I was getting some weird, like, it wasn't outputting, and then if I let it cool down, it would start. So I was getting some weird, like, overheating problems. But I will say, one, it sucks that it wasn't working when I wanted it to work, and that made me feel bad. But two, the customer support from the Genki company was very good. I will give them a shout out on the podcast. I contacted them. I sent them my request for a replacement at like 2 p.m. on a work day. By 4 or 5, they had responded asking for a video of what my setup looked like so they could try to help me troubleshoot. So I did like a 2-minute video walking through what I do and showing them the problem. At like 7 p.m. that same day, they responded back and were like, "Is this your address for us to send you a new one?" And I was like, "Yes." And then the next morning, they were like, "Great, here's a return label." I had it in the mail by like 11 a.m. the next day. And I'm waiting for their shipping department to confirm that they've sent me a new one.
Very cool. Have you heard any other reports of people having the same issues that you have?
I didn't look it up. I probably should have. But when you look up Genki Dock, you do not see like a lot of problem posts about it. So I presume not. Now, my last big hardware, let's talk about this Oculus here, right? Okay. You know me, you know I'm a fan of the virtual realities, and I currently have 2 virtual reality headsets, the original Oculus Rift.
Oh, that's true. I forgot you had 2 still.
Yes. Well, The Oculus Quest 2 was announced. So the Oculus Quest 2 is
Beautiful.
beautiful. It
Hmm.
has significantly higher resolution. There's a 2K resolution, which is what my current monitor is in each eye. So it's like 4K overall. And it has higher processing on it for when you play games on its own. It can still plug into the computer and play stuff. It has a 90 frames per second frame rate, which is what the Rift S has, which is better. No, it's better than what the Rift S has. It's what the original Rift had. Much better than the Quest 1, which only had a 72 per second frame rate. So all in all, very good upgrade. But here's the killer. Did you see that this thing is only $300?
Yes.
Which is insane because like even the
Yeah.
current models are 400, so it's a newer piece of technology that's actually coming out at less than the original. I watched like a 30-minute review on it. I wasn't really interested at first, and then I heard the price and I watched this 30-minute review, and I was kind of considering like, I don't regularly play VR that much. I have my Quest. Do I really need a Quest 2?
Right.
Am I interested in this? But
Yes.
because of the low price, I went looking for what the current models are selling used for.
Right.
And I currently have both my Quest and my Rift listed for sale. So if anyone is interested in purchasing an Oculus Rift CV1 with 3 sensors and the headphone accessories, or the Oculus Quest with a carrying case and the headset and or the earplugs, all this stuff, those are both listed for sale right now. And I'm trying to purchase the new one because that's going to be available just in October. Although I think pre-orders are now backed up to November.
Of course. Yeah. There's no way that they're selling the Quest 2 at a profit. There's no
Probably
way.
Not. Yeah.
That thing is an incredible deal for 300.
Yes.
Thanks to Facebook, I'm sure.
Yeah.
The review that I watched, I watched like a really in-depth review. The guy, his name is Norm from the website Tested. He does a lot of VR stuff. And Oculus sent him a model 2 weeks before their announcement so that he could review it and basically drop it the day of. So he's
very
been
nice.
using it for a few weeks. So I watched his very, very in-depth review, very helpful. And he was saying, like, at the end of it all, that the visual quality much, much better. Through the link cable, through that like compressed cable displaying on the headset, it is still like there's still the compression is noticeable compared to playing with the $1,000 Valve Index, or even that $600 one we were looking at a few weeks ago, the HP one. That those, that you still feel like you're playing something that is mobile plugged into a PC rather than playing something native on PC. But that for everything else, it's great. He did say that the comfort strap, much like the original Quest, the comfort strap was kind of a necessity. But now, instead of buying some weird one from Australia like I did, Oculus is selling their own, and it replaces it. You pull the old strap completely off.
No.
And you snap this new one on, and it is a hard plastic one with the little rotate dial like the Rift S has.
Oh, no way.
Oh.
So
that's wonderful.
When you buy the new headset for $300, you can add that for $50. Though I checked last night, and they are actually out of the comfort strap, and the pre-order date of the headset has been pushed back by like half a month because so many people are ordering it.
Right.
But the only way to get the strap right now is you can buy a bundle that includes the headset for $300, and then you get the strap and a carrying case, and the strap has a built-in battery pack. So this plastic strap comes with a little USB dongle you plug into the headset, and it'll charge it. And that whole bundle adds $130 onto it. So it's about $430 for the whole thing.
Okay.
Gotcha.
But that's you could almost reach that by selling the first Oculus and your Quest you have, right? So like if you could sell both of those, that's almost like just boom, free upgrade.
Yes, I actually have them listed right now, both like through a couple different local like Craigslist type sell stuff out your front door kind of things. A few people interested, not really any serious offers yet, but if both of those sold, yes, I would have basically just enough to get this new one with the full pack. And that's what I'm trying to go for. I might actually order the new one. I don't know how convinced I am I need the new one. I was kind of waiting to see if the old ones would sell. But now that the pre-order date's getting pushed back, I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and list them via eBay, because I get a much wider market.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And I've been checking the sold listings the last 2 days, and both the original Rift and the Quest are still selling for a surprisingly high amount on eBay today.
Really? What?
Like $300, like the price of the new one people are paying for the old one.
Just because they can get one like now?
I don't know why. I'm not the one making that purchase, but because I have the carrying case and the headphones and all these extra accessories like the comfort strap, I'm pretty confident that I'll be able to get a like 300 for the Quest. And then so many people like the original Rift just because of how it works with the cameras and because it's a faster frame rate and everything, that like you can still sell them for like $200, which is a really surprising to me.
Oh wow.
So I'm hoping to get both of those unloaded from my house and then go purchase that new one. I'll probably be doing that right when this podcast is over.
Very nice.
Wow. Well, on the topic of VR, you talking about it reminded me. If you guys or anybody listening are looking for a VR game to play, included in Sage this year, somebody also released a VR Sonic game.
Oh no.
I feel like don't know if it'll dark place.
Don't know if it'll make you sick. I haven't played it yet, but I did watch the trailers and it looked really good.
Everybody supersonic.
Yeah, you are going through loops and stuff.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow, that sounds insane.
It seems like it could make me sick, but it might be so fun. I don't care, you know.
From my limited experience with VR, even though you think that, I will tell you that as soon as you start actually feeling sick, nothing is fun anymore.
Yeah,
I have to try it at least. The camera does like go with you. I guess that wouldn't matter too much, but
yeah. Well, I mean, you still have the first version of the Oculus Rift, don't you?
Do I? I do.
The developer
it's right
kit?
there.
No, not the developer one. The one that he bought from me.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yes, I do.
Yeah. So, what's stopping you?
I haven't downloaded it yet.
Well, don't let that stop you, Keaton. Download it right now. Come on, chop. I'm kidding. Don't do that. Your video will chop out.
We've been through games. We've been through emails. No, I'm sorry. You can see I'm just exhausted by 50 episodes of this weighing on my shoulders. We've been through games. We've been through deals. So I believe that brings us to the best part of the entire podcast, which is the questions and answers section.
Question answer.
50th celebration. This is the part where we get to interact with you guys in the chat. Thank you for being here on the live stream. Also for you listening, thank you for listening. Please send us in your questions about games, questions about life. You can do that a couple different ways. You can email us using your phone, using any email client of your desire at patientplayerspodcast@gmail.com. And if you prefer, you can also join us on the Patient Players official Discord server throughout the week. We're on there hanging out, playing Among Us, recording the podcast, all of those things. That is at patientplayers.com/Discord. Feel free to ask your weekly questions in the questions and answers section of that Discord. With that out of the way, we have a couple different emails and at least one, if not more, Discord questions to go through before we wrap up this grand 50th episode celebration. Are you gentlemen ready to continue?
I'm so ready.
I'm ready.
Alrighty. Well, Jordan, will you take us away with our first email?
I will. And I was ready like I said I was. I'm just talking because I like talking about things. Okay, so our first email is from our usual writer, Miranda. And she says, "Dearest Patient Players and Keaton." So, and Keaton and or K. So I guess she must have known that you might have been hacking in just from all the hacking you've been doing.
Are you working together with Miranda? Miranda, do you know how expensive an interabyssal connection port is?
Miranda was the inside man. She's like,
I didn't talk to her about it beforehand. Maybe she's like a super hacker.
Oh, she hacked you hacking us.
Yeah.
I think that makes the most sense to me.
Anyways, hello. Congratulations on your 50th episode. You're half a decade. Or century? Question mark. Anyway, I have 3 questions this week. Question number 1. Are you ready? Who is better, Princess Peach or Daisy? Question 2. Let's do one at a time.
Okay.
Is it cheating if I say Princess Toadstool?
Is that Peach? That is Peach, right? It's not like some fancy wording. Because you could say like Pauline, and that is some fancy wording.
Well, yeah, but she didn't ask about Pauline. She asked Princess Peach or Daisy.
But a lot of people think that Pauline is Peach, is what I was getting at.
But a lot of people are wrong about a lot of things. That doesn't mean we have to be wrong, Jordan.
Yeah, it was just a fun fact. What do you think, Keaton?
I think. Well, the answer is Rosalina for one.
Oh, dang. Yeah, you're right.
But
They didn't ask about that.
But if I had to choose between one or the two, I will say that Princess Peach has at least looked good for for most of the time that she's existed. Daisy
Yeah.
Daisy looks a little bit like a nightmare for quite a few years.
Oh, you're saying like early Daisy, like
Yeah,
that
early
N64 Golf Daisy.
Oh, my
wasn't
word.
quite, wasn't quite a human yet.
Yeah, it wasn't a little too derp, a little too derpy. They've improved her recently. I think her Smash Brothers iteration probably looks the best.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the Peach reskin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very true.
So you say that if we broaden this question out, that Rosalina is the true answer, and on most days I would agree with you, but on this day, this very day, just right after the second anniversary of our favorite Bowsette, I have to say you're not respecting Bowsette enough.
You're right.
The true princess to rule
true
them all.
princess, the true princess.
Anyways, I'm gonna say Daisy just because she's better at not getting kidnapped all the time. Like you think Peach would have learned,
or there's no one that's rescued her this whole time.
Dang, Luigi.
Yeah.
Has been
She's
slacking.
she's a lot better at not being in any games.
That is also true, just like Waluigi and Wario.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, second question: what is one food you hate? Bowsette.
Bowsette is the food you hate?
On a cupcake.
I don't like broccoli and cheese soup.
Wow, that is very specific.
I'm trying to think.
Interesting.
I have a very broad palate. There are a few things that I just will turn down. I'm trying to think of what they are.
I'll say fried okra because it feels like someone stuck it in their mouth, whooshed it around, and then spit it into a bowl, saliva and all, and they said, "Here, eat this." Like, no. I'll eat that thing. It is slimy stuff.
It's just a vegetable. Well, it's not supposed to be slimy. It's supposed to be fried in these little fried balls. Are you just having normal okra?
I'm pretty sure it was fried.
Because fried okra is like a ball of fried, like with the okra in the middle, and you eat it. It would be like a fried pickle.
Oh, it was fried, but it wasn't fried in batter, if that makes sense.
Oh, not like a deep fried.
Yeah.
So it's like seared okra.
Yeah.
Okay, I can imagine that being kind of gross.
Terrible. Oh.
I'm honestly, I feel bad. I'm honestly having a hard time thinking of like a food that I will just turn down every time. I'm sure there are certain condiments. You know what it is? It's pickles. I just don't like pickles.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah,
weird.
They're all over the place, and I'm just like, I don't want it, and I'll just give it to my wife.
They're all over the place.
I will say I prefer eating pickles on their own, but I never have them in like a hamburger or anything. I feel like that ruins it.
What about a chicken sandwich?
No.
No. Pickles
no,
off that thing.
Sad day.
Let's all be real. As soon as a pickle touches anything, the entire thing tastes like a pickle.
Yeah.
Like that pickle flavor does not go away ever. Like you can't pull pickles off of something.
I am a frequent connoisseur of the Chick-fil-A, with which every chicken sandwich contains a pickle, and I wouldn't say that's true at all. In fact, I usually forget that there's a pickle in there.
You've just attuned to the pickle taste. You already know.
I think there's something wrong with your taste buds. I always ask them for without the pickles because it ruins it.
Interesting. Very interesting.
I'll have the lettuce, I'll have the tomato even, and like the condiments. It's a great chicken sandwich, but like,
that's the deluxe one.
If the pickles are left on there, I'm not going to complain. I don't hate pickles. I guess the question was, what is one food you hate? So I hate pickles.
Just kidding. Okay. And the third and final question is, if you had to give up one or the other, would you give up your phone or all of your consoles? Sincerely, Miranda.
I'm going to exploit a loophole in this question. And since I have a PC, I would rather give up my consoles. I use my phone
That's a good loophole
for a lot of things. But I also pretty much only play the Switch, which would be hard to give up.
Yeah.
But I think I use my phone more than my Switch.
That is a hard question because I need my consoles to play the Mario games, but I use my phone for my job.
Exactly. Yeah, like job is like the main factor. Where it's like you can't really you need to contact people with the phone.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of a loopholes where I can use something else to contact people, like just emails or like video chats.
Here's what
That's
you do. You
still
buy
really hard.
what was the N-Gage is the video game console that was a phone? You buy one of those, and then that's your phone.
There you go.
And you still have your consoles.
Download the SMS app for the Nintendo Switch.
Nintendo would never allow you to communicate with people on the Nintendo Switch. What are you talking about?
Unless you exchange friend codes after a phone number.
No, they would allow you to communicate on your phone. They wouldn't allow you to communicate on your Switch.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's...
Yeah. I would say if it somehow didn't negatively affect my life, I would get rid of my phone. That would get rid of all the manga that I'm reading. But I could read it through my computer.
Oh, okay.
So.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say phone. I could probably find loopholes for that. But like having to find a new hobby, that's a lot more difficult than just being like, hey, call me on Facebook Messenger on my computer.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough. I mean, I guess if none of us are going to leave our houses ever again, which at this point might be likely, who knows?
Nice.
Doesn't make much of a difference for me.
Well, hold on. Something just came into our email inbox.
It did?
Yeah, let me take a look at this for a second. Oh, it's from Kay. He's reaching back out.
He emailed us?
He emailed us.
Nice.
Okay, well, Keaton, I know. I hope you feel just about as guilty as you deserve listening to this, but let me read this out for you.
No.
You son of a monkey.
Dear Patient Players Podcast, it has been a while, but it is I, Kay. I'm sorry. He says, I was so excited to finally connect to you live on the podcast today, but something keeps blocking my high-speed terabit inter-abyssal port connection. Though I prefer to announce this in person, seeing as this is the Big 50, thank you, Kay, I feel like I should finally reveal what the big change that I'm going through is. Well, you see, I have now become the king of the abyss. Now, I know that might seem crazy to you. Like, how did I go from a lowly scientist exploring the deep corners of a dark and mysterious hell dimension to the all-powerful ruler of said hell dimension? Well, it's quite simple, really. You know, steamy yet fleeting romantic encounter I had after escaping the Silver Dragon's grasp and that one email I sent you that was rudely deleted by your acquaintance, Keaton.
Who's here today? Yeah. Thanks, Keaton.
I happened to meet that fine woman again in my travels, and it turned out she was actually the queen of the abyss. And after that, we began to hit it off again. And well, you know what they say, first comes love, then comes marriage, then comes a monarchy in a hell dimension. Anyways, long story short, a lot of things started to change my life very quickly. We've all been there, Kate, don't worry. And I began to run out of time to send updates. So I decided to recruit some help to keep your inbox filled during weeks that I'm not available to write to the podcast myself. In fact, you've already met them. Excluding that guy from the Bureau of Mirrors, the emails you received in the last few episodes of this podcast are all individuals I have recruited to keep your inbox filled with questions and updates every week. With all of that said, here is my question of the week. What is your top 5 anime waifus?
No, are you serious?
Wait, he says, that is not what I'm typing. Please stop your friend from hacking into my emails. I can't even edit that text anymore. Love and watch more anime, K. Keaton, look, this was typed out while we were on the podcast. Would you just look, hands up, hands up. Where are your hands right now?
Furiously hacking away.
Are you hacking right now?
Keaton, no.
Keaton,
no. What,
Keaton,
no.
I need to see your thumbs. Oh no, he was hacking right now.
That is hilarious. Even the font is changed. We can see where he hacked the words. So Kay started typing out love and then it changes over to watch more anime.
I mean, I will do that, Kay. Thank you.
What are your top 5 anime waifus? Oh no, I'm Googling.
Well, I mean,
top anime waifus.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Do it.
It's fine. It's fine. Here's a blog. 29 of the best anime waifus who will steal your heart.
Oh, Jordan, I cannot imagine the Google ads you're about to get.
Bulma from Dragon Ball Z. Is that true, Daniel?
Bulma's not a waifu.
Yeah, I'm not impressed with these waifus.
Bulma's like hardcore. Bulma's the only woman who is woman enough to handle the husband that she has in that show.
I don't know any. ReZero, Fate Stay Night, Guardian of the Sacred Spirit, My Bride is a Mermaid. I recognize Food Wars for some reason. I don't know why. Did you mention Food
That was
Wars,
a popular one.
Keaton, recently?
No, I haven't mentioned it, but it is popular.
New game, Fairy Tale, Fate, Apocrypha, Charlotte, Fairy Tale. I don't know. I've never heard of any of these.
All right, let me see if I can do my best to actually come up with 5. Question: does Saitama from from One Punch count as a
Yes.
waifu?
I vote yes.
Saitama's got to be number 1. Or is Genos his waifu? That's the real question.
Oh.
I'm sure in some dojins he is.
Oh no. Okay, well now we're getting to weird topics. I don't know if I could on the spot come up with 5. I'll have to come back to you on this. But
You're telling me, and you even watch the animes.
Number 1 is obvious, and everyone should know it. And it's Froppy from My Hero, who's the most adorable little frog girl you will ever Dern
that's
see.
right.
Yeah.
Obviously, the best
Okay,
waifu of all time.
I have 2.
Okay, you have 2 waifus.
I need to think of 3 more.
Okay.
Is one of them 2B?
That's number 1. Yeah. I got 2B.
We can't go an episode. We can't go a single episode without mentioning Nier Automata and 2B.
Does Rosalina counts, right?
Rosalina absolutely counts. Yes.
Okay, good.
Rosalina
That's
counts.
all I have so far.
Okay, but I will put this caveat on it, Jordan. If Rosalina counts, then you are admitting that Mario is an anime game.
I don't think that's. I don't agree with that logic.
If Rosalina is an anime waifu, she has to be from an anime.
Okay, that's fair. The email did say anime waifus. Okay.
Yes.
I just Googled what is a waifu, but that doesn't help me because the email says anime waifus.
Hold on. I like that your search history is first top anime waifus and then what is a waifu.
I like the definition though. A fictional female character from a non-live action visual media, typically anime, manga, or video game, to whom one is attracted. I like that definition.
All right.
It's very professional.
What great emails we have this week. But moving on, we do have a couple questions from our Discord channel, so I'm going to just bring that out to you here.
Oh, do we?
The not so self-titled. We have titled her, but the questionnaire of brilliance, Wally, on the Discord asks us a couple different things. One, if you could design a game, what would it be? With a suggestion, possibly the Lego Bible.
That's my answer. Like the Lego Bible video game. I'm still waiting for this to become a thing.
It's the opportunities are endless.
It works too well. It works way too well.
Keaton, I think that your answer is probably literally 100 times more valuable than anything me or Jordan could say about this. What kind of video game would you like to design?
Can I guess for Keaton?
Go ahead.
I'm assuming it's going to be a Metroidvania game.
You are correct.
Yay!
You see, I am making a video game. It is a Metroidvania.
Actively as we speak. That's why he has the keyboard.
Actively as we speak. I'm finishing it up right now. We'll be on Steam in 5 minutes, I'm sure.
For the low price of $59.99 a month.
Yeah, I guess I won't go into too much details about it because it's not even close to that point yet. But it is a Metroidvania game.
All right. Well,
and he sends me the most wonderful clips of glitches. I love them. The T poses, the climbing animations. It's I love them, Keaton.
The limbs breaking and splaying out all everywhere.
Oh, the horror one where like she turns into this like stick monster.
I didn't do that on purpose. It just did it.
That was awesome. I loved that.
Well, we'll have to keep our ears out, and I'm sure in future episodes, once we get our chance to play the Keaton game, that will be first and foremost on the topics for the patient players that week. Very good. What a good question. And then I think we're going to wrap up this most beautiful of 50th episodes with one last question. It said, what is a game that you wish that you didn't play?
I don't know how she keeps doing it. These are so good questions.
I don't know. It's a well-earned title, Questionnaire of Brilliance. Let's just say that.
But there has to be. I can picture me in my head being like, I wish I hadn't have played that, but I can't think of what that was. I must have blocked it out.
There's sad games I've played, but I've always appreciated them at the end of it, that like they put me through a sad experience.
I can think of a few games. I'm just trying to think of one specifically that stands out.
Most of them I probably blocked from memory if I truly think I should never have played them.
Yeah, I mean, most of the games that I would say that I wished I didn't play are just games that I didn't like.
Right.
Yeah,
And that's a
not
fair
not
answer.
necessarily games that made me sad. If it made me feel like a powerful emotion of any kind, I would have appreciated it.
Yeah.
Right. I have one. I think I have a good reason for it. So this makes me kind of sad to say, because I genuinely enjoy this game, and I've actually thought in recent months to like play it again.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say that I wish I had not played the original Dungeon Defenders, which is a
Interesting. What?
it is a tower defense game where you play as one of 4 characters. You place down towers and you run around, and while the enemies are walking through the lanes and getting hit by the towers, you also have a controllable character. You can blast them, all this stuff. The reason I say that is because I loved that game. It was super fun, but it was very grindy, very grindy. Like you had to repeat levels to gain experience and do harder difficulties, and you got better loot, and the loot had certain drop rates. So very addictive. I swear there are weeks of my schooling as a child that I just ignored or like stumbled through because I was supposed to be doing other important things, and instead I was just repeating the same levels in Dungeon Defenders over and over again. So I think my life would probably be better off if I had avoided that little addictive bubble. There are other games I've had addictive like tendencies towards. Like obviously World of Warcraft is a big one for a lot of people. I mean even games that we've talked about on the podcast, like I'll play them obsessively for like 10 hours in a weekend or something. But that one in particular, I just remember being really bad about like that's all I did all day for like a while.
Yeah. I think for me, Jordan's not going to like this, but it was Pokemon Shield.
Oh no, I understand.
I've never been able to get into Pokemon, but I've never like played a full game, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, people really like the new Pokemon Sword and Shield. I'll play through the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'll give it like the best chance possible. I'll play it from beginning to end. And just by the end of the game, I feel like I wasted my dang time. That was the most boring thing I ever played.
Here's the thing, stopping at the conclusion of Pokemon is literally the worst place to stop, because you have just completed the worst part of the game, which is the entire game. And then the post game is what's actually fun about Pokemon.
But why would I play a bad game in order to get there?
I have shifted from my previous perspective, which would argue with you, to 100% agreeing with you that it's kind of just a bad game to play through. But having put myself through that, I was then able to enjoy some of the stuff afterwards and still like the game in the end. But like I didn't buy the DLC. We've had that conversation a couple times on the podcast.
Yeah, and I'll say, you know, if people like Pokemon, it's fine. It's just not my thing.
Yeah. Keaton, if I was like, I want Keaton to play a Pokemon game and enjoy it, there's also the fact of the matter is that I would not have said play Sword and Shield. Like if you put quality of Pokemon games on a chart, you played like the worst one also.
That's possible. So, at the time that it came out, it was like it was like the big hotness, you know.
Right. Yeah.
Saying, actually, you know, this is actually pretty good for a little while. The only 3 Pokemon games I played are Pokemon Shield. That's the one I played all the way through. I played a tiny bit of Pearl, and I played it like a few minutes of Red, I think, the first one.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, I would say if I had to force you to play through all of one, I would have said do Pearl. The Pearl storyline. Pearl or Emerald? Emerald was so good.
I think Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby might be my favorite. I think looking back on it as an adult, objectively, Black and White. Maybe Black and White 2. I never played
Oh,
2. But Black and
yeah.
White might be the best ones out there. Also, Black and White 2 is the only Pokemon game that has a hard difficulty, which is appropriate for functioning adults and not children.
Functioning adults. Dang.
So Black and White 2, I've been interested to go back and try it just because I've heard a bunch of stuff about it. That's the only generations I've skipped, because I've done like I had Red and Blue as a kid and Yellow. I had Silver, I had Sapphire, I had Diamond and Platinum, and then I had White, and then I didn't play Black or White 2.
Mm-hmm.
I jumped in back on Pokemon Y, and I've had them all since then, except I didn't get the Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon nonsense. But yeah, so that sequel was the only one that I never did, and apparently it's like a really good one. It has a lot of post-game content.
It
has a lot of
is.
really
I got
good stuff
it
in the game. So maybe that's
Yeah.
one to try out.
I will say, I probably would have been on the same level as you guys if I had played Pokemon as a kid.
Mhm.
But when I was a kid, when Pokemon was the big thing and everybody was playing it,
Mhm.
that was when the adults in I don't remember if it was a teacher or like just a parent of one of the other students was like came around and said, "Oh yeah, Pokemon is witchcraft. It's bad for you."
Yeah.
And of course,
Right.
baby me was like, "Well, if an adult said it, then it must be true." So I just skipped out on it.
I also went through that phase in my life.
I remember that I was totally fine to play Pokemon, but one of my good friends was not, because of the witchcrafts, and so he would come
Mhm.
over, and I had like Pokemon toys, not like the game, but just like toys, and we wanted to play with them. But the only way that it was okay was if we didn't call them Pokemon, so we had to come up with our own names for them. It
Oh,
was a very weird experience as a child to have like a little Squirtle, and it's like we can't call it Squirtle because that's evil and
it's
wrong.
evil. That's so funny.
That's
Yep.
funny.
I can't think of a good response. I typically know like a game that I like before I play it. Like I know what I like and I see it and I'm like, that looks good. I like that. So it's rarely that I play through something. I actually like force myself to play through something and be like, I wish I hadn't have done that. But that probably applies to No Man's Sky, because I really did force myself to do the No Man's Sky grind, thinking like it's gonna get good. And it was like maybe 7 or 8 hours over the first week it came out. And eventually I was like, okay, no, this game actually is just really bad when it came out.
Wait,
Right.
wait, Jordan.
Lots
What about plug and play?
Oh, I don't regret that at all. Are you kidding me? Keaton, that game is great. Remember we showed that to Chance, and we that's still on our old YouTube channel. Chance playing it for the first time, and you and me are there watching him play it. Yeah, I don't regret that. I don't regret a second of that. You kidding me? Good stuff.
It probably
It's
is
good
something like
stuff.
there's probably some game in my history that I played for like 10 seconds, was like, no, this is not worth it.
Yeah,
Honestly, when this question first got asked, I was thinking about what's that one that we played at PAX on the little round cushions? The weird one that features poop prominently.
What? I don't remember.
Yeah, no, it's like the very Katamari looking one. You know what I'm talking about. It came out on Epic earlier this year.
Squared with a square top hat,
shoot.
man.
Yeah.
What was the
that
name
one
of that?
called?
Oh, I think I bought that. Didn't I buy that? Because it was on sale.
I've played that. I played that game multiple times, and I still don't understand it.
What? You have?
I have. Well, at PAX.
What is it?
Yeah.
What is it called?
I'm looking in my library. Maybe I can find it. However, I think I got it on Epic Games, and my library is so big on Epic Games that I might not find it. Thanks to all these free games.
It's called Wadum. It's called Wadum.
Yes, nice.
That's
How'd you find that so fastly?
I looked
Quickly?
up the guy who directed Katamari, who is Takahashi, and it's one of his games.
Okay, nice. Wow, you
yeah,
wish you hadn't played it.
I just did not like anything about Wadum when we were playing it. It was so dumb.
Interesting.
Yeah. No, I kept playing Wadum every time we went to PAX, thinking like this is gonna be like one of those games that it starts out and you have no idea what's happening, but as you play further, it's gonna start making sense.
And then it never
But
makes sense.
it never makes sense.
It never came.
And you're like, what has happened? Why am I doing any of this?
Welcome to a
I'm
Takahashi game.
still looking forward to playing it at some point.
Well,
I could have said Shower with Your Dad Simulator, but again, I
It's
don't regret
basically-
playing that either.
You don't regret that one either.
No, of course not.
I was expecting it to be like the happy version of Death Stranding, where you just got to get the point, and then you understand it.
Is that true for Death Stranding? I didn't realize that was a thing.
Really a heavy-handed like political point that's undertoning it all.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, I'd say Death Stranding is that way.
Okay,
The
interesting.
gameplay. I don't know if that makes the gameplay fun necessarily. I think that just depends on who's playing it. But once you get it, you're like, okay, I kind of understand the story and everything, sort of.
Huh.
Well, let's look back at this 50th episode. Let's see. We got 2B in there. We got some Pokemon in there.
Pokemon, yeah.
We got some Pokemon. Yeah, we got some great deals. We got some Wadham in there for some reason. I don't know why that was necessary, but we hit all the boxes. Some Mario. I don't think I'm legally allowed to end an episode before you talk about Animal Crossing anymore. Can you just say something about Animal Crossing?
Animal Crossing.
Okay, great.
Yep.
We did it. We made an episode.
Sweet.
Everyone, high fives all around.
Yay!
There we go. We are now completed with the 50th episode. Wow, 50 episodes. This is incredible. Thank you, Jordan, for doing this with me. This has been fun.
Thank you, Daniel, for doing this with me also, and thanks, Keaton, for ruining our episode.
Thanks for nothing.
You're welcome.
Keaton.
We were going to have this
you're
awesome
welcome.
guest star for the 50th episode, and instead we got you.
You're right, and you got one. It's me.
Okay, touche. Yeah, you got me there. You're right.
All right, well, thanks for being a part of it, Keaton. Thank you guys all for listening. We really appreciate you guys taking the time out of your day to listen to us. Have a good time, and please see us on the Discord. Send us those emails. Send us those questions, and we will see you guys in future weeks.
Sweet.
Adios.
Here's to another 50 decades. Goodbye.
50 whole centuries.
Bye.
Bye.